And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
And Sophie Cunningham
You're literally
just said
dumb
the
as
quiet
fuck.
part out loud. I don't know, and finding me $500 won't fix it. That is the headline, the temperature check, and the spark. Here's the news you clicked for, straight up. Over the 2025 season, Sophie didn't just protect Caitlin Clark on the court. She went to open war with the W, the whistle, and anyone trying to spin a different story. She got hit with fines. She got louder. She got fined again.
She leveled up.
And she turned from Caitlin's enforcer into the league's biggest migraine because a play.
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk to me.
Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
But is there
player with a microphone, receipts, and a fan base? That's not a problem you can tech foul away. This matters right now because the stakes are bigger than one hard foul or one spicy soundbite. The product on the floor, the credibility of the whistle, the way stars are protected, or not. These are the fault lines that decide who tunes in, who buys jerseys, who believes this league is serious. And yes, I've been tracking the arc. The preseason shove that set the tone. The Commissioner's Cup boil-over on June 17th. The viral clips, the sold-out jersey. The Trace Letch's shirt that sent corners of the internet into meltdown, the expansion comments that lit up entire cities, the TikTok that brought a fine, the podcast that brought 2 more. If you want the sanitized version, you won't find it here. If you want the connective tissue fans have been screaming,
like, you have seen players in our league try to like toughen up Caitlin. We call her Cece. Cece. For even when I wasn't on her team, like I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of like, no, we're going to show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And like, I get it to a certain extent. And like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're going to treat them. But there's just more for her. So it's her second year. And like now being on her team and like seeing it, I'm like, what are people doing? Like, actually it's just too much. Too much.
Keep listening, because here's the twist. Everyone expected Sophie to be feisty. They didn't expect her to be fearless. They didn't expect the clapbacks to be the surgical. They didn't expect the fines to turn into fuel. Quick proof? After months of no calls on Caitlin and move along, messaging from the top, Sophie detonated in the Commissioner's Cup, then took the criticism, the punishments, and the whispers, and built a platform out of them. Roadmap for what you're about to get. First, we rewind to the moment the switch flipped and why that changed the temperature of every Fever game. Then we make the case for why the microphone phase was the real earthquake, the podcast, the quotes, the targeted shots at refs, media, and even expansion plans. Finally, we connect the dots on why the fines didn't shrink her, they scaled her, and why the league's biggest nightmare is a charismatic player who can rally the casuals while telling hard truths that insiders won't say on the record. Buckle up, we're closing loops all the way through, start where the fuse was lit. Preseason. Mystics. Rookie Kiki comes in hot, knocks Sophie down. It isn't the biggest hit of the year. It's the symbolism. Sophie popped up instantly, eyes locked, message delivered without a single exclamation point. Not today. That was just the trailer. A quick flash of what Caitlin's teammates needed to be: present, immediate, unblinking. Because if a rookie could bulldoze a veteran without flinching in the preseason, what did that say about the green light on Caitlin once things got real? The reality hit. This wasn't going to be polite. This was going to be a brick-by-brick siege of the whistle, and the Fever needed a bouncer at the velvet rope. Then came June 17th. Commissioner's Cup. Fever versus Sunday. The whistle didn't merely get swallowed. It was buried somewhere under the stanchion. JC Sheldon caught Caitlin across the eyes. Marina Mabry body-checked her like it was audition day for a safety in the NFL. No ejections. No recalibration. No message from the game's caretakers that the league's biggest draw would be treated like a human being. That was the moment the second-best point in this story snapped into place. Sophie's on-court line in the sand. She delivered the payback everyone at home had been begging anyone, to deliver. A body-on-body response. A headlock and shove declaration. A street-level translation of, if the grown-ups won't protect her, I will. Context. Months of Caitlyn being mauled with no accountability. Application. Sophie as the equalizer. Framing. Expectation versus reality. Fans expected the league to set standards. Reality said vigilante justice was quicker, and that wasn't bravado at the mic. It wasn't smoke for the cameras. After the game, her words came measured and brutal. This wasn't about one play, one opponent, or one night. This was years of watching the supposed face of the league hacked to pieces, while the whistle treated her like a rumor. She said it plainly, she's going to protect her teammates because nobody else was.
Call that a quote.
Call that a mission statement. Call that a warning. The payoff? It rolled in immediately. Sophie didn't just defend Caitlyn. She became shorthand for accountability. Her jersey? Gone in minutes. That's not a vibe. That's data. Her socials? Rocketed. Brand value? Up and to the right. She winked at the moment with a TikTok drop set to Selena Gomez, and fans turned the comments into a thank you all. That was a multi-million-dollar pivot, and here's the cliffhanger we'll come back to. The league could have harnessed that energy. It chose punishment instead, of course. The blowback machine revved up. Media voices scolded the retaliation while ghosting the hits that led to it. A petition popped up calling for her banishment. The league weighed in with a $400 fine, the kind of number that says we have to do something, not we have a plan. And right there, Sophie had a choice. Take the quiet route back to the middle, or climb the staircase to the roof and plug in the amp. She chose the roof. Then she found the floodlights. 5 days after the JC moment, she showed up pregame in a barstool, Trace Letch's tea with her, Caitlyn and Lexi Hull pictured, shoulder to shoulder. Subtle? Not even trying. She knew exactly how certain corners would spin it, exactly who would seethe, and exactly which fans would feel seen. That wasn't merch. That was message discipline. July 1st, she took aim at expansion, saying out loud what players whisper everywhere. Not all markets are created equal. The names Detroit and Cleveland lit up phones, local radio, and group chats. Critics pounced. She half-walked it back, then did something rare. She said the part that other players won't say on record. She speaks for the room more often than people think. Translation: if you're mad at me for saying it, be mad at the echo behind closed doors, too. That's the pattern interrupt no one saw coming. When the mob points, she holds the stare. July 18th, she lip-synced a Sabrina Carpenter track for a TikTok that, let's just say, didn't flatter the intelligence of the officiating fraternity. It went boom, 7 figures on the view counter in a blink. The W responded with a $500 fine. For a lot of players, that hurts. For Sophie, in the middle of a popularity surge with sponsors paying attention, it's lunch money. And here's the fork in the road that will haunt the league office. They thought the ticket book would muzzle her. It turned her mic up, then came the strongest point in the whole saga, the microphone phase. July 30th, Sophie launched Show Me Something, and the first episode wasn't coy. She laid out something everyone suspected but few would state plainly. There were teams and locker rooms talking about toughening up Caitlyn Clark, proving to her what the league really is. She said she'd heard it before she even joined the fever. Now, up close, she's watching it happen in real time and calling it what it is. Too much. Not the normal rookie treatment. Extra. Excess. Agenda-colored. Context. The league's most famous player is still treated like a piñata because some veterans think pain is pedagogy. Application. Sophie uses a podcast to put the locker room whisper on the record. Framing. Expectation versus reality. Everyone expected year 2 to come with star calls and peace. Reality delivered fresh welts and a woman who is done pretending it's fine. She didn't stop there. She revisited the Sun game, saying the officials lost control and that Marina Mabrey should have been tossed. She pointed at chippy stuff from specific opponents without hiding behind passive voice. She mapped out the leash she's on, shorter than most, feeling like a collar in a hand. And she put her finger on the wound at the core of this conversation. Inconsistency. If you want a league built on respect, you can't sell coin flip officiating. If you're going to let one team hit, you better let the other team hit back. Otherwise, you're not calling a game. You're writing a script. That first episode brought more than downloads. It brought enforcement. On August 5th, she revealed the league hit her with a $500 fine for that debut. Let that sink in. She credited the refs for having a hard job, admitted she'd mess it up herself, and still got dinged. The signal wasn't subtle. Stick to the talking points. She didn't. In the same stretch, She addressed a mentor-level former teammate over a messy exit and made something else plain about Phoenix. AZ was good to me, but I'm way happier in Indiana. That's not shade. That's closure with a little steel in the spine. Then she did the unthinkable. She touched the third rail. Superstar treatment. Paige Beckers.